Okay. True, false, Kira. Burnout costs 300 billions or more for companies annually.
I know burnout's bad, but I can't imagine that it's that expensive. So I'm gonna go false.
It's absolutely true. $322 billion annually, according to the World Economic Forum.
What?
Yeah, but listen to this. This is the even crazier part. The price tag for the people who actually go through the burnout.
Mm-hmm.
So not the companies,
Mm-hmm.
the actual people. The price tag for them is way, way, way higher than 300 billions. Because can you put a price tag on your health?
Yeah, okay, that bit I can totally relate to because I had what I now understand was a burnout in 2020. Remember when we left India on the rescue flight?
Hmm.
And we've been working 12-hour shifts in the yoga school and it was crazy. It was amazing, but it was crazy. And then when I got back, all I could do was lie on the sofa and basically watch TV. And then I started to build a morning routine that most days would last until 2 in the afternoon.
So if you guys want to figure out how Kira actually dug herself out of that burnout and about her morning routine that lasted till 2, stick along because we'll give you some tips and tricks how to
Yes.
avoid having a morning routine till 2.
Yeah, although it was great.
Okay, so you've experienced it. I know you have experienced. I have friends and family who have experienced it,
Hmm.
and most people will know somebody because 77% of people in the work field experience it at some point in their life.
Yeah. Before we do that, though, can we introduce ourselves?
Okay, good. I'm so eager to talk about this.
This is Lord Burnout. So who are we, Oscar? Who are you?
I'm Oscar, as it says on the tin, Oscar Sandman, founder of the Nordic Breathwork Academy, and now, together with my partner in crime and in love, founder of the Vita
Vita
Veda.
Veda. Yeah. I'm Kira Nicole, yoga teacher and personal development coach, founder of Creative Spirit. And we've come together to create Vita Veda.
Tell us a little bit why Vita Veda, what is it?
So Vita Veda is a combination. Vita is Latin, so we wanted to go to the roots of the kind of Western world. Veda is Sanskrit, and we wanted to go to the roots of the Eastern world. So Vita means life, and Veda means wisdom or knowledge. So together it's the living wisdom or the living knowledge. The reason it's living is because theory without practice is totally useless. And so we know mindfulness and well-being and wellness and a lot of these terms are thrown around at the moment. They're very popular, which is great that it's coming into everyone's minds. But we really want to be ambassadors for practicing these ideas in daily life, not just kind of throwing them around as buzzwords.
Exactly. So that's why we're here. Since 2019, 2018, we've been teaching all over the place, from India to Spain to France. And we met people from all walks of life, from CEOs to aspiring yoga teachers. And a common theme of people's being guided to the house of yoga was rehab. So they'd already run into burnout and they were seeking a sabbatical year to recover and
Mm-hmm,
restore.
mm-hmm,
And the more we thought about it and the more people we met and encountered, we started thinking, why go through the process of rehabbing when you can prehabbing?
mm-hmm. Exactly. And prevent it before you get to that burnout breakdown.
Exactly. The stats are all over the place. People are being more stressed than ever,
Yeah.
more anxious than ever,
Yeah.
and running faster and faster towards the burnout together.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a taboo speaking of it. The pain underneath it is being, it's a little bit hush hush. Like,
Yeah. I think because we're in this like busy culture and busy society, especially in, certain levels of business and entrepreneurship, it can be this like go-getter, like go, go, go attitude.
you look around, everybody else is doing it,
Yeah.
but like underneath the surface, 77% of employees will actually run themselves into a burnout. And
Exactly.
as a leader, the chance is even 40% higher.
Yeah. And that's why we've come together. At the moment, we're developing our signature framework, Be the Change, to take into a retreat format for C-suite leaders and high-level entrepreneurs. And the reason we want to do that is to put the be or the being back into business and the well into wealth, so that all of the success and the wealth and the achievements that you've actually accomplished, you can enjoy them when you get there. Because I think it's so sad for you to have really worked and built something incredible. And then by the time it comes time to enjoy it, you're too exhausted and burnt out. And so that's why we're developing our transformational leadership retreats at the
Exactly.
moment.
With the focus on something as powerful as active recovery. It
Mm-hmm.
sounds simple, but for most people, we don't really know how to recover.
Yeah.
So we have a twist on recovery that will be super beneficial. But you that experienced the burnout care, what will be some telltale signs for somebody?
Yes, good question, because I think a lot of people don't even realize, like I didn't realize at the time that that's what I was experiencing. It was only in hindsight. So I would say fatigue can be a really big one, like sudden or overwhelming tiredness. Actually, I've got a client that experiences this, especially as she wants to move towards things that are, big goals or big dreams. She suddenly gets really, really tired as she moves towards it. Impaired cognitive function, impaired decision making, so struggling to kind of string together simple decisions, struggling to follow tasks through to completion. You might also see in your interpersonal relationships more arguments, more tension, more disconnection, more distance.
Another recurring theme is the sleep.
Yeah.
So as this big bubble of stress expands within you and it explodes into this burnout, the circadian rhythms of your internal clock can get disrupted, which will impact your sleep. And when your sleep is impacted, we all know it's
a slippery slope.
It's a slippery slope. So
yeah, so I'd say overall for me, it's not having that same zest for life and a call towards the things that you're usually interested and inspired by. If you notice that you're feeling, lethargic and not really excited towards things, that for me would be a bit of a telltale sign.
You might be on the cusp then. And if you are on the cusp, or if you know somebody on the cusp, what would you do? What would be your pro tip? Number one tip.
Number one tip is you need to find more empty space. You need to prioritize and make more empty space. Now, that doesn't mean that you need to sit and stare at a blank wall. Unless that's your thing. If you like staring at blank walls, go for it. But it just needs to be small pockets, especially in the beginning. We understand as high pressure leaders and entrepreneurs, you've got lots of goals, deadlines, decisions, and people relying on you for things. Maybe at this stage, it doesn't feel realistic to step back totally for, say, a month. But what you can do is incorporate small pockets of empty space day to day. So, for example, you've got the kettle on in the morning to make a cup of tea. Instead of pulling out your phone and habitually scrolling, could you just stare out of the window for 5 minutes, for 10 breaths? For 5 seconds.
Okay, and if that silence become uncomfortable, what do I do with it? Do you invite us to stay there? Or
no, I'd say build up your window of tolerance slowly. So if silence and emptiness is uncomfortable, because we're in such a fast-paced world, maybe you just do 1 minute to begin with and then crack on as normal. Maybe in a week's time, you could move up to 1:30 and just gradually increase these pockets of empty space through the day. Because burnout is where your mind's crammed with information. Your senses are overloaded with stimulation. And so incorporating a little bit more of these gaps allows some space for all of that information to land and settle.
So a little dopamine fast.
Yeah, exactly.
Whenever you have the chance, don't reach for the quick fix. Stay with it. Enjoy the silence.
Just
invite the silence.
Yeah, invite the silence, just build it up. Like, I appreciate it's not going to be, I still have been building up meditation for years now. To be able to sit still for 5 minutes is massive. Yeah. So even just 30 seconds where you would normally, be doing, just if you can have a.
And on that note as well, when you said you have struggled to sit for at least 5 minutes, I know you have found a few practices where you have been able to extend it. That hasn't been in complete silence, but you've been guided to what's known as a conscious sleep. So yoga nidra is a practice you've been doing a lot as well.
Definitely, but you're the yoga nidra master. So yoga nidra basically means yogic sleep. So it's somewhere between being asleep and awake.
Yeah, you will basically be guided through all the 4 brainwave states you will go through during sleep. So alpha, beta, delta, and theta brainwaves. You'll go through all 4 of them as your body is being deeply relaxed, and you'll get this ability to have your mind seen from a different perspective, from a calm and relaxed, from a quiet perspective. So there's a constant story that's being pushed in the background. All the unnecessary noise will be quiet down, and you'll be able to have a break from it.
And practically speaking, for me, yoga nidra is like plugging my brain into an iPhone charger. Like midday, just 30 minutes, and then it's like I've got a second day. It's great.
Power nap.
Yeah, exactly. But you don't get groggy like when you've actually slept. It's just chef's kiss.
Perfect. And then last but not the least, to really get out of your mind. In the Western world, we speak about it as something negative. Oh my God, he is out of his mind. We actually here at the Vida Veda encourage you to get out of your mind, because when you get caught in the maze, it's a slippery slope as well. So journaling is something you've been doing a lot in guided hundreds of people through as well. You can externalize the mind, put it down onto a paper, and you can get that, once again, a different perspective. So
yeah, definitely. I think journaling for me is kind of like this bird's eye view. So whereas in day-to-day consciousness, you're very much in the action as the main character, if you like. Journaling, I think, offers this oversight for you to kind of see what's happening in your life and be able to reflect and then make tweaks accordingly.
yeah.
So I think it can be really powerful. We can drop some prompts below the video as well.
For sure, for sure. We'll drop a yoga nidra as well. So top 3 tips then was yoga nidra, journaling, and the micro breaks throughout the day.
Yeah,
Maybe taking a couple of deep breaths there. So inhale for the count of 4, exhale for the count of 4. You've already halved the amount of breath you would take in a regular minute. And it will harmonize both body and mind, stimulate the glands and your nervous system, just giving you that soothness. There's nothing mystical about breath work. It's basically just
what you're doing anyway.
What you're doing anyway, but
Constantly.
do it focusly, do it consciously, and you'll reap the benefit of a calmer, happier body and mind.
Yeah, and to kind of summarize all of that, I'd say for me, it's about this applying this in daily life. Like it doesn't need to be these big grandiose things. We've offered a few examples here, but like you said, just as simple as taking a few deep breaths in between work meetings, for example, that's already a huge step in the right direction. So don't let perfection get in the way of kind of getting started, which I know I can sometimes fall into.
Don't let perfection get in the way of good. What do they say?
Progress.
Progress, yeah.
Yeah. That's what they say.
That's what they say.
Who's they? I'm not sure, but that's what they've been saying.
Well, I think that's all for us. Would you like to recap it or anything you would like to add before the end?
Yes, let's recap. Burnout is on the rise. It's affecting
77% of employees. So 2 out of 3 will, throughout their career, experience burnout. If you're a leader, you're even 40% higher than those 77%. So
he's the statistics man, not me.
I love the statistics. I'll drop them and sources underneath as well if you think he might be doing some bro science here, but I'm actually sourcing real stuff, so don't have to be worried.
Yeah, so burnout is insidious. It's making its way through our organizations, through our leadership teams, our employees.
It affects your
cognitive function,
your sleep, your ability to connect with family and friends and with teams. It costs companies 322 billion annually, and the price tag on the people getting burnouts, having to seek medical help, going to hospital visits. It's not a fun road to go down through. So instead of rehab, start doing some prehab.
Yes, and that would look like inviting some more empty space into your day and eventually building that up and really taking full steps back to get that bird's eye view so you can assess the direction that your life's going in, so it doesn't feel like it's just running kind of under your feet without your say so.
Yeah.
Mic drop.
And so do your beautiful short breaks, do a yoga nidra, get some breath work in, and journal. And last but not the least, try to practice being grateful. Take a prayer before the food, which you're with family and friends. Just invite that moment of gratitude. It's a high vibe emotion, and it will guide you on the road. Real. Stay best by the breath. Stay blessed by the breath. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to be back next week. We'd love to know if you resonated with anything in particular underneath the video. Not if you resonated with anything under the video, but let us know under the video if you resonated with anything in the video. So yeah, if you've experienced burnout, any of the symptoms that we've spoken about, or if you've tried any of the practices that we mentioned, we'd love to know below. And yeah, that's everything. Amazing. Thanks so much for joining us.